So I get this question all the time. I'm seeing a lot of divorces, unfortunately. And what happens with divorce when you own a home together? Somebody gets to keep the home, or else the home is sold, and each spouse typically gets part of that equity. And people want to know, how do I pay off my ex-spouse or soon-to-be ex-spouse and keep the home? Can I afford to do it? The other issue is a lot of people have a mortgage right now, 4%, 3%, or below. And if you have to pay out a large sum of money to your soon-to-be ex-spouse so that you can keep that home, the big question is, how do I do it? Let's just use an example. Let's pretend your house is worth $800,000. Maybe the balance on your mortgage is $400,000. That means there's an additional $400,000 in equity in that home. Typically, what happens is that $400,000 is split in half. $200,000 to whoever stays in the home, $200,000 to whoever exits. So again, $800,000 value. We have a $400,000 mortgage that needs to be paid off and get taken out of dual names and into whoever's staying in the home, their name. And then we need to give that soon-to-be ex-spouse an additional $200,000. That means if you want to stay in the home, you need a loan for $600,000. And the question is, does it make sense to go from my interest rate of 3 or 4% to a new interest rate at maybe 7.5% on a $600,000 loan so that I can keep the home and pay my spouse off? Well, guess what? We don't know if it makes sense. We need to run the math, because sometimes just doing a home equity line of credit, even those loans right now are about 9.5%, it might make sense to just do a home equity line of credit, or what we call a HELOC. But sometimes that blended interest rate of that higher HELOC rate of 9.5 combined with your first may be higher than just doing a whole new first mortgage. So you see, there's no simple answer. I get the question quite often, what should I do? And my answer is, we have to take a look. We've got to crunch the numbers for you. We're going to need a little information like your mortgage statement, see what your interest rate is, how much income do you make, will you be able to afford this new payment, and is this the right move or not? So give me a call today. I'd love to work out this situation with you and figure out the best strategy to either stay in the home. Maybe the home needs to be sold and you'll buy something new. But whatever it is, we want to work on this with you collaboratively so we can make sure you don't make a mistake, agree to something in a decree before you've spoken to your mortgage lender to make sure it even, A, do you qualify, and B, does it make sense?